Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Near Disney. It's the Wednesday show where us panel of local real estate experts in Central Florida get together to chat about the market, interest stories for all things happening around a 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle, the best real estate that there is around here, actually. So let's cue the theme song before we dive in. All right. Well, I see people are already joining in the stream. Thanks for catching us live. Of course, this is recorded, so you can always go back and watch later. And we invite you to say hello in the chat while we're live and ask us any questions that you like. And also, of course, that's why our phone numbers are here as well. Because we just want to be here around the clock. And oh my gosh, we've got a comment here. Tanya, who used to be a part of this show, is sending us prayer and support emojis. That's awesome. Good to hear from you, Tanya. Thanks. Glad that you tuned in to check on us tonight. And anyone else wants to tune in, wants to say hello? Oh, where she's sharing love, saying that we're missed, and well, yeah, you're definitely missed too, watching us from Facebook. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we've got some good stuff to cover here for things happening around Central Florida. One thing is, we're getting to the end of the month here, September 24th, and in a week from now, it'll be October. And so you might want to be figuring out your festivities for next month. A lot of different areas of Central Florida are doing an Oktoberfest, and they happen at all different times and intervals and stuff. So if you check out orlandodatenight.com, they've started to compile a list of the various Oktoberfests and when they're starting and how long they're going through and what's going to be involved with them. It's like the Kissimmee Oktoberfest, that's going for like a good stretch, September 14th to November 3rd in Crushbrow Park, basically the World Event Center, outdoor festival tents, immerse yourself in rich traditions and vibrant culture of Germany, with all those glass boots you drink out of and stuff. Sounds like you can get into this for $10. Some of these are free. Like I think the details on the one in Celebration, Florida have yet to be formally laid out and announced, but you can usually just get into there. Some different stuff. Bar and Grills are announcing their timeline. This is going from till October 19th. Oviedo Oktoberfest. So yeah, basically, if there's something going on local to you, Lake Nona, we just highlighted Lake Nona with a new video on our channel for what's awesome about living there and how that's a really hip and happening modern city in Central Florida. That one's like right near to the airport too, as well as all the medical conveniences. So yeah, check that out. We'll keep you updated on more of this because some of these are like to be announced as well. But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna party all the way in St. Augustine, but they've definitely got your your Florida covered. And with that, also just kind of as far as fun things going on, sounds like there's something cool happening this week that you wanted to share about, Virginia. It's like a
market. So there are a bunch of markets. Yeah, so there are a bunch of markets obviously happening all the time in the area on the weekends. But this one I thought was pretty cool because it's so the Twilight movies are being re-released into theaters in October. And this market is a Twilight inspired market. It's pretty cool. It's in hang on one second. It is in Oakland, Florida, and it's a Twilight inspired saga market, and you wander through curated vendor booths offering handmade crafts, themed merchandise, and different treats inspired by obviously the characters from the movies, Bella, the Cullens, the Ouellette tribe. Anyway, just something cool to check out if you're a Twilight fan, just because the movies are going to be re-released and everybody who's into them can go and, find some cool merchandise. So that is happening on Sunday, the 28th, and it is free and it's open to the public, and you can just kind of browse or buy, or it's up to you. It's just something fun to kind of different than just like the pumpkin patches and everything. So something cool to
You know,
check out this
gosh,
weekend.
that
Starts
came
at
out
noon on the 28th.
2008, and just it's amazing how time flies. And there's a lot of people with a lot of nostalgia who want to, still enjoy those memories and all that
Exactly.
iconography. Still so you can stay young at heart. Thrifting, yeah, always look for a cool chance to go thrifting. So, Sue, here you've got an article that's reminding people what's special about Florida now. For a while during the pandemic, we were a very attractive hub and spot for people to move in for our tax purposes or maybe just our policies when everything was crazy around the globe. And so, and our housing market was on fire. And sounds like, with rate cuts and other cool things about us, what are the updated reasons why Florida is a special place to consider relocating to?
Well, we're still a happening place. That hasn't changed. We just kind of got more happening in 2020 and 2021. So
Yeah.
people recognized, I think people recognized a lot of what Florida has because they really hadn't been looking before. And they realized that, we have, I mean, especially where we are right in the middle, we can pretty much get to any part of Florida within a couple of hours or less, pretty much anything you want to see. I was up in Ocala the last couple of days, went up to Silver Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful place, just gorgeous, and took the glass bottom boat ride, had to do the tourist thing. But, it was really a great experience, a lot of good information. But this article, I really liked it because it was very succinct and gave a lot of good information. So like I said, we're in Central Florida. So a lot of these beaches, which is what they list as the number one reason to come to Florida, is because our beaches are top rated. But right now where we are, you can get to either coast in less than an hour and a half. And it makes a great day trip, or it makes a great,
Mm-hmm.
Go spend one night and, don't get too sunburned, because then, you're going to want to leave and come home before you should. And there's just a lot to be seen on the beaches, and they all have great, coastlines of shopping and restaurants and all kinds of fun stuff. So we don't have any state income tax. I think Elijah just mentioned that. And that's a big deal. We're one of the few states that doesn't have state income tax. And so that, you save on a lot of things. You'd be surprised how many things you save on without that without that income, the state income tax. Save on your IRS bill and what you don't have to put back out to the government. It's always good to keep more of your money, right? And of course, great year-round weather. We have the average year-round temperature here is 72 degrees in South Florida, during the day, and 67 in North Florida.
Ooh.
So I know it's only a 5-degree difference. So just also keep that in mind when you're looking at different areas. But, we're right here in the middle. We have a steady temperature. We do get a little warm in the summer, but air conditioning is a wonderful thing, and then you are ready to get back out in it as soon as it's more comfortable to be outside. Right now is a really great time for us to be outside. It's been really nice, especially in the afternoons and evenings.
Today was definitely pool weather, I would say.
Yeah, it was.
The sun was just right sunny.
Right.
You could have gone tanning at 4:30, and
Yes, you could have. I
you'd have
actually
really
went for a
caught some
walk
rays.
at 4 o'clock. It was very cool. So our medium price range right now is the average is about 378,000, where the average home price in America is just 364. So we're still very reasonably priced, because you think about people coming from New York, New Jersey, California, a lot of Connecticut, a lot of more expensive Washington State, expensive states that are 39%, 55%, 110% above the nation's average. So you are definitely going to save on your house bill here. That is for
Where'd
sure.
some of the original American colonies, and that they're kind of smaller states like Rhode Island and
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey and stuff. So it's kind of like they don't have as much new development and new construction and new communities being built out. Like we'd made a real big push on this channel a while back where we were just showcasing lots of new communities and new constructions, even in just Central Florida near Disney. Those places is just
Mhm.
like what's built is what's built. And if you want anything new, you're gonna have to buy something old and then just tear it down and build something else there if you can, if it's not like a historical district or something.
Right, exactly. And providing, and when you do that, it's always great if you can keep the foundation, but a lot of those homes, that's maybe not even going to be an option
This
anymore
is great.
because
We
things are
do
so
have some
different.
new construction opportunities that are
We do.
affordable here. And June, I know one of our viewers here is speaking up for another understated advantage of Florida living here. Dune Buggy Jim says you can drive a dune buggy every day of the year.
He
He lives
knows.
up to his namesake, that's for
He,
sure.
he brought his dune buggy all the way from Colorado when he moved here this earlier this year. So, and I know he's been driving it a lot of
I love
places.
that. That's great.
The other thing is we do have a very strong economy and employment market. I know employment is up here. There are all different kinds of genres for different labor markets, and of course, the amusement parks and hospitality. But there's still administration. There's technology. There's so many things to bring people here, and obviously. The amusement parks. But back to that was one thing I wanted to point out is Florida achieved in 2024, the calendar year, we had almost 143 million visitors. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people to come here, and they're coming here for all those reasons that we just mentioned to you. Even if they're just coming to take advantage of things like the beaches and all of the amusement parks. Walt Disney World parks. The off kind of parks, like off-brand parks like Gatorland. Legoland is not off-brand, but Fun Spot America, and then all of the SeaWorld parks at Discovery Cove, Volcano Bay, Aquatic Park. Those are, again, one of the million reasons. And if you live here, you can go whenever you want. You don't have to spend the whole day. If you get yourself an annual pass, you can go and just spend as much time as you like. You don't feel like you're wasting your money. And then you can go home and take a nap or go home and have dinner, or it's great for kids. It is
Some people
great.
make it a lifestyle. I mean, really,
It's true.
you can get an annual pass for the price of getting into Disney like 5 to 8 times. And
Exactly.
really, there are, plenty of Disney adults or, people who just, Epcot in particular, like they'll just make a lifestyle of just after work, we're just going to go hang out at Epcot and see the show or walk the world where they have all the restaurants
The
or, catch
showcase.
some rides. So it's a cool lifestyle that doesn't have to just be an 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. to feel like you got your money's worth
Right.
thing that just totally exhausts you. Like when you've got that pass, when you are local, get the discounted access, you can just kind of pop into these places and just enjoy them in little doses for just bite-sized memories over your life.
Exactly. And Epcot is, I mean, you can't beat the fireworks over the lake. The fireworks are extremely, extremely off the chart. It does talk here about it's a great place to retire, but I think Virginia is going to be talking about that in a minute. So I'm going to skip over that. And like Elijah and Virginia were just saying, many festivals and outdoor events to attend. You've got the farmers markets like crazy, like Virginia was just mentioned, and horse shows, polo matches, craft shows, music concerts. So many places have outdoor music almost every day of the week, if not every day of the week. And then there's also, these day trips and a lot of things to explore. Like I was talking about, going up to Silver Springs, great place. You could really totally do a day trip there. Daytona International Speedway, the Space Center that's a 2-day trip. You really need 2 days for that one. That's not a day trip because there's so much to see there, so much information and history. So anyway, that was my 10 happy reasons to move to Florida.
I like that it also mentioned our array of professional sports teams to come and root for when you're here. I moved to Florida
Mhm.
from Nebraska, and the thing about the state of Nebraska is it doesn't have professional sports teams.
Nothing.
There's only college football that is the Cornhuskers, so there is no like pro football team, you know. So we just
Yep.
clung to what we had with Go Big Red, and then you've got all this. You've got your Dolphins and your Buccaneers and your Rays and your Panthers and your Heat, all this good stuff that you get to just be a part of in the communal aspect of Florida living as well. So that's fun. And yeah, speaking of the retirement
Mhm.
stuff, I will let Virginia expound a little bit more on that with this article that she found, how we stand up there.
Did she freeze?
Virginia, there's a little bit of a delay. Can you hear?
Hello. Yeah, I'm sorry. My computer is having issues tonight. If you guys can hear me,
Sure. Can you
I did
speak to
have
this?
a cool article though about. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Oh, it's
Hello.
given
Yeah, we
problems.
can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so we found this interesting thing, this article about, and there are definitely a lot of factors that come into play when deciding where to retire, such as weather or proximity to children or grandchildren, budget, social connections, or maybe even having the opportunity to work part-time.
Mhm.
And a study was recently done of more than 180 US cities across 45 metrics of categories like affordability, activities, quality of life, and healthcare. And up being the number one city that was ranked. And it was, in addition to being what Sue was talking about, one of the most tax friendly cities, it's the 9th cheapest city for homemaker services and the 20th for adult. So it also ranks high when it comes to healthcare facilities and just services for retirees. It also, Orlando, as we know, provides a plethora of recreational activities for retirees, ranking the 3rd best city for recreation overall. And it has a lot of, like we were just saying, a lot of music venues, fishing facilities, art galleries, adult volunteer opportunities.
Mhm.
Overall, it ranked the best as far as retirees looking for a great place to live. And actually, Florida ranked in out of the top 7. It was the top 4, and the others were Miami, which was 4th, Tampa 5th, and Fort Lauderdale was 7th. So we're in the top for
Wow.
a lot of the cities in Florida. So a great place to retire. A lot of good reasons to retire here. So that's positive for people looking to move down to Florida or just relocate to Central Florida in general. So all
Beautiful.
positive.
Yep. Thanks for sharing that. I mean, yeah, it just goes on and on for all the things that attract various age groups, but especially those golden years to just want to just spend it here. Let's see what else. I have kind of
Yeah.
a interesting article here that's just about playing into how marketing your home or branding your home in the age of keywords and online outreach can kind of can come into play and how how you can make your home stand out. So fixer upper is kind of a key buzz term word for getting views and attention. Sometimes we know that home needs work, and if you are gonna try to underplay that in a crowded market, or you're trying to get a maximum price, that can be something that we can work with you to just kind of de-emphasize the areas of improvement or hyper emphasize the strengths, like maybe its location more than the potential upgrading needed for the home. But if you do want to kind of just get the home sold and have a certain, like I've been working with some people lately who they needed an expedited time frame for getting a deal done, and they didn't really have the luxury of allowing it to sit on the market even while the home needed work. It's saying that homes that are listed as fixer uppers receive 52% more page views per property than a comparable older affordable home, according to the data analysis by realtor.com. And they say a typical fixer upper has 3 beds, 2 baths, and maybe was built like in the 50s or 60s, and these homes could be like 1,600 square foot compared to like maybe newer single family homes that are around 2,000. So basically, people are interested in taking advantage of opportunities to go in and modernize and update. So they're saying that fixer uppers can have a median list tag of like 200K ish range, which is like 50% below the 430K medium range for other single family homes.
Mm-hmm.
When you do that fixer upper keyword, it's basically more than triple the search volume of 4 years ago. And personally, even as an agent right now, I'm getting a lot of text messages like that just say like, "Hey, got any fixer uppers?" Using that word. So I don't know if it's something that you want to help embrace to make your home stand out with its marketing, because sometimes even with the psychology of like, oh, I don't want to market it as needing work because that could devalue it in people's minds. But what could happen is a whole bunch of people could see the opportunity there, and all of a sudden you've got 5 people interested in a home that could use work, and then maybe you still have a multiple offer or bidding war situation, even if you're just like starting from a lower point, because people see that opportunity to fix up. So that's just something to just maybe consider in the large cavalcade of marketing tools that we have to figure out how to put the best foot forward for a home in that kind of condition. And so with that said, I'll throw it over to you, Sue, about this metro area article that you found in our private sector growth.
Yeah, I found this webpage called Positively Osceola, and this article is from the end of June. So we're a couple of months ahead of that, but our unemployment rate is holding fairly steady. It's not going up anymore. It was held at 3.7, and Orlando, which includes Osceola County, Orange County, Seminole, and Lake counties, led the state in private sector growth in May of 2025, added almost 30,000 jobs over the year, and grew the labor force by 17,700 people. So that is just showing the economic momentum and growth that's happening in Central Florida. So I started to talk about this when I was speaking earlier, but the local job growth, and that's one thing I wanted to point out for people. We do talk a lot about retirement and people moving here, snowbirds, that kind of thing. But there's so many opportunities for young people, younger families. I mean, look at Elijah. He's young and single. He's living his best life as an agent, and Virginia's got wonderful kids and she's raising them. I mean, and I'm not retired, but I'm in that age bracket, and that's just shows you the three of us are very much reflecting different types of people that live here in Central Florida. Leisure and hospitality, of course, that's going to, have a lot of job opportunities. That's about 11,000. Professional and business services added 3,000 jobs. Government jobs, 2,900. Financial activities, job related financial type of employment, 1,800. jobs, other services, which could include, a plethora of different things. 1,600 jobs, and informational jobs were 900. So, and then again, the state, there's more statistics down there for the state overall, how they grew in employment. So I loved seeing, manufacturing jobs going up, trade jobs, what was information, I thought I saw somewhere in here there was, technology. I think that was in another article I was reading today, but technology is growing very fast here in Central Florida too. Orlando's is, running at the top of the mark with that. This was one thing that from a quote, this was from the Secretary of Commerce. He said, Florida continues to drive strategic economic expansion and job creation across key sectors. Florida is not just resting on our laurels. Just this week, this was back in June, wins were announced at the Paris Air Show that reflect our growing influence in aviation and workforce development. So, for Florida to be recognized at the Paris Air Show, I think that's pretty cool. So.
Yeah, that's great. It's great to get a glimpse at our economy and our employment status in this state. And I see all these positive percentage numbers. So great to highlight that for us, Sue.
Mm.
And with that, I think that was the gist of everything that we planned to cover tonight. Welcome to everyone who commented. And of course, we are real realtors working here hard every day. We've got our phone numbers on the screen. If any of us resonated with you, we'd love to help you out. We all have different strengths and backgrounds, but we have a shared passion for connecting buyers and sellers and just, educating you about the market so you find that glass slipper fit of a home here straight from the Near Disney crew here. So if you like this content, we got multiple shows a week. You can hit the like button, subscribe. We're trying to get on the path to 10,000 subscribers. We've had a lot of channel growth in a short period of time, and we just want to keep that momentum. The more you engage with us with commenting and liking and subscribing, the more it pushes us out in the algorithm to reach more people all over. People call us from out of state and out of the country. It's really cool getting to know you guys are really watching and you're really out there. And with that, I think we'll throw it over to Kim Hawk, the Fairy Godmother Real Estate, to sign us out.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Good.
Make sure that you subscribe and like so that we can continue to give you up-to-date information on all things that are going around the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle, because this is truly a magical place to live.